Welcome back to the Dinar Chronicle, your trusted source for breaking updates on the global currency landscape. If you're watching this right now, you're going to want to stay with us until the end of this report, because what we are about to reveal could signal a seismic shift in the financial world. Multiple reports are emerging from reliable international banking sources and financial intelligence outlets confirming major developments around the long-awaited revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong. As of this hour, credible sources indicate that the Iraqi Dinar is being set at an international rate of $3.81, and the Vietnamese Dong is aligning with a newly pegged rate of $1. This would mark one of the most significant currency resets in modern economic history. The information coming in is being described by insiders as highly sensitive and points to intense activity within central banking systems, particularly across institutions in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. We're seeing chatter from within Tier 1 banks and confirmation leaks from independent redemption center staff that signal this may not just be a rumor, but a calculated rollout aligned with a broader global currency reset framework. These reports have not only been echoed by foreign exchange traders, but are also now being picked up by currency exchange platforms showing fluctuating dinar and dong spot prices outside normal bandwidth. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar to $3.81 represents a full-circle restoration of Iraq's economic value pre-2003, when the country's financial infrastructure was dismantled. For months now, there have been signs, some subtle, some more overt, pointing to preparations for this transition. Iraq's internal economic reforms, including updated monetary policies and digital financial infrastructure improvements, have aligned with IMF recommendations and Basel III compliance milestones. With the latest data from the Central Bank of Iraq showing steady reserves, growing gold backing, and an increasingly oil-leveraged GDP, financial experts believe the conditions are finally in place to support a revalued dinar on the open global market. As for the Vietnamese Dong, the sudden shift to a $1 peg has caught many off guard, though those closely watching ASEAN economic alliances and recent currency swap agreements saw this as a growing possibility. Vietnam's strengthening manufacturing sector, ongoing de-dollarization movements in the Asia-Pacific region, and recent bilateral trade deals with the BRICS bloc are all contributing to a more autonomous and robust financial identity. If these reports are confirmed in the coming hours, it would mean Vietnam is no longer artificially suppressing its currency and is stepping into the global monetary system as a more equal player. We're also receiving information that key trading platforms and Forex desks have placed temporary holds on large dinar and dong conversions, citing system recalibration and rate realignment windows. This kind of operational freeze typically precedes a major shift in rate tables across global currency indexes. Moreover, compliance teams within multinational banking institutions are reportedly working overnight, cross-referencing new exchange protocols and KYC documentation updates, especially for accounts holding large IQD and VND balances. This may be indicative of high-value account activity preparing for transition. Several redemption centers across the United States, specifically in Texas, Florida, and Nevada, have gone into high alert mode with increased staffing and restricted entry policies. Security personnel and operational teams are now working in 24-hour shifts, reportedly due to instructions from federal-level monetary authorities and banking regulators. Though there has been no official announcement from the Federal Reserve, sources within the Treasury Department suggest that communications with international financial bodies, including the Bank for International Settlements and the IMF, have intensified over the last 48 hours. We want to point out something very critical here. These developments appear to be directly connected to the larger picture of a global currency reset, or GCR. For years, analysts, economists, and currency holders have been speculating about a coordinated event that would reset undervalued and overvalued fiat currencies to reflect their true asset-backed values. This concept, once dismissed as fringe or speculative, is now being referenced more frequently in mainstream financial circles, particularly in connection with de-dollarization, rising inflation, and the restructuring of global debt instruments. If Iraq's dinar stabilizes at $3.81 and the dong at $1, we could see a massive shift in wealth distribution, particularly among early holders of these currencies. Investors who have waited patiently through long periods of economic uncertainty and skepticism may now be looking at the most favorable return on investment in recent history. Currency brokers and wealth managers are already warning clients to remain calm, follow proper exchange protocols, and avoid falling for misinformation or illicit exchange offers. Meanwhile, social media and investor forums are lit up with screenshots of alleged bank screen rates and digital wallet transactions showing live updates matching these numbers. Some community members claim to have received NDAs or early contracts for private exchange groups. While none of this has been officially verified, the consistency and volume of the chatter suggest a coordinated movement that aligns with what we're seeing behind the scenes. It's also worth noting that several Tier 1 banks are now restricting access to their currency exchange departments for walk-ins, requiring appointments only and ID pre-verification for high-volume foreign currency transactions. These measures seem directly tied to concerns about mass redemptions and the need for compliance oversight as currencies potentially reprice. Let's look at the macroeconomic implications of this development. A strengthened dinar and dong would not just impact individual holders, but also shift trade balances, influence import-export competitiveness, and affect the reserves of major economies holding these currencies. Countries with large oil contracts or infrastructure projects in Iraq and Vietnam may suddenly face recalculated costs and value metrics. Corporations that hold contracts denominated in these local currencies would be reassessing financial forecasts immediately. Currency stabilizers and hedging instruments will be triggered across trading platforms, possibly creating market volatility in the short term. On the geopolitical side, such a revaluation sends a powerful signal. It reflects not just economic realignment, but also a reshuffling of influence in global financial policy. Iraq regaining economic sovereignty at $3.81 could represent a strategic victory for regional powers, while a $1 dong anchors Vietnam as a leading emerging market in Southeast Asia. This may also catalyze other currencies in the region, such as the Indonesian rupiah or Philippine peso, to reassess their pegging structures or interest rates. We're closely watching the ripple effects across commodities markets as well. If Iraq's dinar is officially adjusted to $3.81, oil index contracts could see recalibrations, impacting everything from gasoline prices to energy derivatives. Similarly, Vietnam's rice and electronic export sectors could undergo contract renegotiations that change pricing for global distributors, given the newfound strength of the dong. In the midst of this rapidly unfolding situation, it is crucial that viewers and investors exercise patience, caution, and discernment. We cannot emphasize enough that until formal public announcements are made by the Central Bank of Iraq, the State Bank of Vietnam, or verified through major global financial clearinghouses like SWIFT or the IMF, these developments, while highly promising, should still be considered unconfirmed. As always, the Dinar Chronicle will remain on standby to bring you real-time analysis and updates as this story continues to develop. We are actively monitoring bank communications, Forex data, redemption center operations, and global news outlets for any official confirmation or denial of these new rates. If you are holding dinar or dong and are preparing for exchange, please consult a licensed financial advisor, verify all information from official banking channels, and avoid acting on unverified or emotional claims.